Hello, my name is Desiree Shaw. I'm a psychotherapist and I'm on a mission to making therapy accessible. I'm going to talk about prescribed identity. Know thyself. What do I mean when I say a prescribed identity? I'm talking about the behaviours and mannerisms that have been bestowed to us because of the things that we've done as a child, which has then created our identity based on what other people, normally our caregivers, our parents, have given to us based on the things that we did when we were a child, which is why it's prescribed. So it's not actually your own creation, it was prescribed for you. And that's what I mean when I say prescribed identity. We base ourselves in the eyes of the opinions of other people, particularly those that we trusted. And that's because we knew nothing else. And as a child, we are born into this world as a baby, and we have two fears: the fear of loud noises and the fear of being dropped. Everything else is learned, which means it can also be unlearned. So when we have our own personalities and we think this is what we do because we've been told that we do it, it's not entirely true. That was prescribed to us. When we are wrong about the ideas of who we are, which were prescribed to us as when we were children, we find it very difficult in our adult lives to live up to or against. So we either try to disprove or prove ourselves based on what was prescribed to us, which can be very difficult, because if you were known as the loud one, you might believe that your job is to seek attention and perform, or try to be silent so you don't upset anyone. So you're constantly doing this ping pong effect where you're trying to please because you're seeking approval and acceptance, because you're prescribed an identity which actually doesn't fit you, which is quite difficult. And that's when we find ourselves in conflict with ourselves, because we don't know who we are. So we accept that we have been continually projected on, and all of the things that we've been told about ourselves isn't necessarily true, but it might make up some part of us, but not entirely us, because we have yet to discover who we are, or create who we are, or accept ourselves. We accept that people do put things on us as a child, and that's okay. Your parents might have been bad, your caregivers might have been terrible. Ultimately, that's over. The responsibility now is for you to actually know yourself and get to understand your own identity and put aside the prescribed identity and create your own. So it might have been bad in the past. That's the past, that's over. Now is what's important, and now is when you can start creating who you are and do away with the prescribed identity that was given to you. Thank you for watching. My name is Desiree Shaw. I hope that made sense. And if you are dealing with a prescribed identity which was difficult for you growing up and you don't fit and it doesn't suit you and you are finding that it's troubling you, you can take it off. Because ultimately it's only yours if you put it on and wear it. It's not yours if you choose to leave it where they left it, to be quite honest with you. And they're not bad people for prescribing you an identity. They just did the only thing they knew. And that was the best thing they knew at the time, no matter how bad it was. But you're in control of you, so you can make the changes that you need to make in order to be as happy as you want to be. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, share, comment. Bye for now. If you were bestowed traits of neediness, this is often attributed to your parents finding your needs overwhelming. So if you were a child who was quite sickly, I was a sickly child, your parents can find that quite a lot to deal with, which therefore can be placed on the child that they're the needy one. Yeah, and this can alter our view of the world, because how we see ourselves as we grow up with that prescribed identity, we may be driven to be pushy and persistent to get what we want, or on the other hand, we might overcompensate by going inwards, shutting down and not expressing our needs or hopes or dreams. There's one of the two. So if you were prescribed the neediness, that you're overwhelming, that you're needy, you might have to push to get what you might feel that's what you have to do because that's your personality. That was the identity that was prescribed to you, not necessarily you.